प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसरी गौर भक्तविंद की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण कृष्ण गोपी गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंजी गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय, मथुरा धाम की जय, सीधा मायापुर धाम की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, गंगा यमुना माई की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। जय गौर नंदी हरि बोल। All glories to Samudi Bodhi. All glories to Samudi Bodhi. All glories to Samudi Bodhi. All glories to Sisi Guru and Goranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So we're continuing our study on Srimad Bhagavatam. Canto 2, chapter 9, text number 4. Atma-tattva visuddhi artam yad arha bhagavan ritam brahmane darshayam rupam avyaklika vratadritha. Atma-tattva visuddhi artam yad atha bhagavan ritam brahmane darshayam rupam avyaklika vratadritha. Atma tattva visiddhi artam yada aha bhagavan vritam brahmane darshayam rupam avyaklika vratadritha. Everybody repeat.
Atmatattva Visuddhyartham Yad Aha Bhagavan Drishtam Brahmane Dashayam Rupam Avyalika Pratadrita.
Hare Krishna. Atma Tattva Vishuddhyartham Yad Aha Bhagavan Ritam Brahmane Darshayan Rupam Avyalika Vratadritaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Atmatattva vishuddhyatam yad aha bhagavan ritam brahmane darshayan rupam avyalika vritatrita.
So, we're going to read the synonyms of word to word translation. Atma tattva, the science of God or that of the living entity. Visuddhi, purification. Artam, glorification. Ar, Visuddhi, purification. Artam, goal. Yad, that. Which, aha, said, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, returned in reality, Brahmani unto Lord Brahma, Darshayam by showing, Rupam, eternal form, Avyaklika, without any deceptive motive, Vrata, vow, Adrida, worship. Translation by Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. O King, the personality of Godhead, being very much pleased with Lord Brahma because of his non-deceptive penance in Bhakti Yoga, presented is eternal and transcendental form before Brahma, and that is the objective goal for purifying the conditioned soul. The purport by Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Atma Tattva is the science of both God and the living entity. Both the Supreme Lord and the living entity are known as Atma. The Supreme Lord is called Paramatma, and the living entity is called Atma, the Brahma or the Jiva. Both the Paramatma and the Jivatma, being transcendental to material energy, are called Atma. So Sukadev Goswami explains this verse with the aim of purifying the truth of both the Paramatma and the Jivatma. Generally, people have many wrong conceptions about both of them. The wrong conception of Jivatma is to identify the material body with the pure soul, and the wrong conception of Paramatma is to think him on the equal level with the living entity. But both misconceptions can be removed by one stroke of Bhakti Yoga. Just as the sunlight, both the sun and the world and everything within the sunlight are properly seen. In the darkness, one cannot see the sun, nor himself, nor the world. But in the sunlight, one can see the sun, himself, and the world around. Srila Sukadev Goswami therefore says that for purification of both wrong conceptions, the Lord presented his eternal form before Brahmaji, being fully satisfied by Brahma's non-deceptive vow of discharging Bhakti Yoga. Except for Bhakti Yoga, any methods for realization of Atma Tattva or the science of Atma will prove deceptive in the long run. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord said that only by bhakti can one know Him perfectly, and then one can enter into the science of God. Brahmaji undertook great penance in performing Bhakti Yoga, and thus he was able to see the transcendental form of the Lord. His transcendental form is 100% spiritual, and one can see him only by spiritualized vision after proper discharge of tapasya or penance in pure Bhakti Yoga. The form of the Lord manifested before Brahma is not one of the forms with which we have experience in the material world. Brahmaji did not perform such severe types of penance just to see the form of material protection. Therefore, the question by Maharaj Pariksit about the form of the Lord is answered. The form of the Lord is Satchit Ananda, or eternal, full of bliss and full of knowledge and full of bliss. But the material form of the living being is neither eternal, nor full of knowledge, nor blissful. This is a distinction between the form of the Lord and that of a conditioned soul. The conditioned soul, however, can regain his form of eternal knowledge and bliss simply by seeing the Lord by means of Bhakti Yoga. The summary is that due to ignorance, the conditioned soul is engaged in the temporary varieties of material forms. But the Supreme Lord has no such temporary form like the conditioned soul. He is always possessed of an eternal form of knowledge and bliss. And that is the difference between the Lord and the living entity. One can understand the difference by the process of Bhakti Yoga. Brahma was then told by the Lord the gist of Srimad Bhagavatam in the four original verses. Thus, Srimad Bhagavatam is not a creation or mental speculative. The sound of Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental, and the resonance of Srimad Bhagavatam is as good as that of the Vedas. Thus, the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam is the science of both the Lord and the living entity. Regular reading or hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam is also performance of Bhakti Yoga. One can attain the highest perfection simply by association of Srimad Bhagavatam. Both Sukadev Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit attained perfection through the medium of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurunvaitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Tapitam Yena Bhutale Kaya Rupam Kadamayam Dadati Sapadanti Tam Vandeham Sri Guru Sita Padakamalam Sikurum Vaishnavam Cha Ram Sagajatam Sahavana Lalita Shri Chakam Vitam Chakapatavya Chakripa Sindhyavata Patitanam Pavanidya Vasavitya Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Karuna Sindhu Navandhu Savasate Gopisha Gopika Sankarada Santa Namaste Bhakta Kancana Garangi Radhe Vrindavan Shubhani Siddhi Devi Pranam Hari Priya Namo Shivaraya Krishna Vipara Gare Sumati Bhaktivedanta Swami Kumar Saraswati Devi Gaurava Vipasavani Vipri Saisambhavari Pasipade Patari Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Sri Bhaktivinoda Sri Hare Krishna 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna, the devotees. Thank you for joining the auspicious moment of the day, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And in the last paragraph, Srila Prabhupada is telling about the importance of by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam daily, Nityam, Bhagavata Sevaya, how we can get purified. So we're all doing it now. Hopefully, like personally for me, like just reading Srila Prabhupada purport and reading the verse, I feel like I'm fortunate, like Srila Prabhupada has given us this wonderful system of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam every day. So if we just adapt it seriously and sincerely, for sure that we will get purified and we can realize really that our eternal position, our Atma Tattva, who we are, that we're part and parcel of Krishna, Namaivam Sajivali, Tejiva, Vita, Sanatana, eternal. And we have to connect to Krishna, only by the methods of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from the Vedas. Prabhupada also said that the Srimad Bhagavatam is as good as the Vedas, and there's so many points there. The first point, Srila Prabhupada is talking about Atma Tattva. So what is Atma Tattva actually? Srila Prabhupada, the Atma Tattva means when we realize that we are not this body. And also about Bhagavad Tattva. Bhagavad Tattva means we realize that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and we are supposed to serve Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada said that we cannot serve Krishna. Why we cannot serve Krishna? We cannot see Krishna face to face. So Prabhupada in one lecture, in a conversation actually, he was telling, he said, so you read every verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, practice it, give everyone. Purification means that one will be able to see God face to face. Well, that is purification. So also he said, like just like in the sky, as soon as the cloud is moved, it dissipated, you can see the sun immediately. Krishna is like the sun, and we cannot see Krishna because we are clouded by material desires, by the mood of material nature, passion, and ignorance. So we cannot see Krishna. So only by the mercy of the spiritual master that we are able to, we are like the Om Jnana Timirandasya, that open our eyes so we can see the light. So similarly, by understanding our Atma Tatma, who we are, who Krishna is, the Prabhupada also says this is the process of God, is everywhere, within and without. So why he is not seen? Why we cannot see Krishna? We say because our senses are imperfect. Because God is everywhere, Krishna is everywhere. They, they say that for why you're going to the temple, God is everywhere. If he has seen God, the Prabhupada mentioned that these rascals say like, what's the use of going to the temple? God is everywhere. Have you seen? Seen? No one has. You see, is it not? Sometimes they say, yes, Prabhupada. But one devotee was a conversation with a devotee named Sudama. So if God is everywhere, why not in the temple? These are atheistic proposals. If God is everywhere, so why not in the temple? In the temple, I can see God at least. The form of God, it is being worshipped, offering prasadam. So there is spiritual atmosphere. So why shall I not go to the temple? So actually, God is everywhere. That is a fact. That as long as I'm not purified, I have to see God as they prescribed in the Shastra. He is a deity, he is God. But because I have no power to see God, therefore I see that, oh, it is made of wood, it is made of metal. That is my imperfect sense perception. But God is there. God is everywhere. God is here also. Why you are talking on metal and wood for reasoning argument? If God is everywhere, why not? He is in the metal or wood. In your eyes, it is metal, but we see God. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as soon as he saw Jagannath, he fainted. Therefore, Visuddhi Artham, Atma Tattva Visuddhi Artham. So, Atma Tattva Visuddhi Artham. So we have to, purify. Visuddhi means Artham. The goal is to purify our senses. So what is the process of purifying our senses? Srila Prabhupada has given. Yes, the 9 process in the Shastra. It says the 9 process of devotional service. Anybody can recite the 9 process of devotional service?
Hearing, chanting,
Mm,
remembering,
yeah.
um,
Shravanam,
Shravanam, Kirtanam,
Kirtanam, Vishnu,
Vandanam,
Smaranam,
Vandanam,
Archanam,
offering uh,
Pada Sevanam,
Dasyam.
Sakyam, Bhasyam, Apanivedanam.
Apanivedana is the last one, I think.
So it's Shravanam. Shravanam means hearing. Hearing.
Vandanam,
The first process
Padsevanam.
is hearing. Only by hearing, then they're all integrated. It's a nice process. Sometimes people say, we say hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. What about we also hear that, like we should always just chant Hare Krishna, you know? So only by hearing, they're integrated, then we can chant. So when you hear, the more you hear about the holy name, about the devotees of Lord, about Krishna, about Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, the more we'll get, we'll get the enthusiasm just to chant. So that's why it's so important to hear. So, Srila Prabhupada always, again and again and again, so many places in Srimad Bhagavatam, he said, just hear me, just hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So for one of the qualifications Srila Prabhupada also is here. He heard from the spiritual master. Only by hearing from spiritual master, then we were able to start such a big movement, It's such a big organization that we are benefited now. So Srila Prabhupada, one time I know when Srila Prabhupada went to, I think, in Benares, his spiritual master was there, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And there was something going on in the town. Most of his disciples, Bhakti Siddhanta and all the devotees, they went to all the program. There was only a few devotees that were sitting down and hearing. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati really recognized Srila Prabhupada, and he said, what, this boy here, he is very sincere. He's hearing sincerely. He's hearing attentively. So that's one of the qualification of receiving Atma Gyan, Atma Tattva, the knowledge about Atma. So without hearing, if we have not been hearing and reading Srimad Bhagavatam, we will not be here today. Me, I remember, just by reading Srila Prabhupada book that attracted me, to Krishna consciousness. I never seen any devotee. I never met anybody, in the moment. Yes, because I got some books from Srila Prabhupada. Then I was reading it again and again. Because I have intense desire. Just I have to join this movement. I have to be part of this movement. I have to take to Krishna consciousness. So in this way, so many devotees, only by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and Srila Prabhupada books, and their life has changed. They become devotees of Krishna. And now they are sincerely propagating Krishna consciousness all over the world. So there are many, many, many instances that we heard again and again from so many different devotees in ISKCON, how they got attracted to Srila Prabhupada movement, to ISKCON, to Krishna consciousness, only by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, only by reading Srila Prabhupada book. So it's so very important for us to adapt this process of regularly hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, because this is recommended again and again by Srila Prabhupada and in Srimad Bhagavatam. And also, Srila Prabhupada said, why, why we cannot see Krishna? Because we don't have the eyes to see Krishna. Krishna doesn't reveal to everyone. As long as we think we are this body, when we are attached to this material world, we cannot see Krishna. And there's a famous verse in Brahma Samhita 538. It says, Premanjana churita bhakti valochanena santa sadaiva vilokayanti yachama sundara chincha
Ekhayanti
govindamadi purusham tamahanda bhajani. So when we develop love of God, Premanjana,
Vidojati
the ointment, just like we apply
Sundara
just like we apply, some ointment to the eyes to make it clear, our vision become clearer. I know sometimes we're in front of the computer, everything's so cloudy and we cannot see properly, and we apply some oil drop, then that help us to see clearly. Similarly, the love of Krishna, he said, some ointment to the eyes to make it clear, our vision become clearer. Similarly, the ointment which we call love of God, Godhead, if we develop that love of Godhead, so by the ointment, when our imperfect eyes will be cleansed, then we can see God. And this is the process of Atma Tattva. So God said. So Atma Tattva Visuddhi Artam, Atma Tattva Yavanna Jnanata Atma Tattvam. So the beginning of purification is first of all to understand what I am. A mind is the body, something else. Atma Tattva, if we can understand myself, what I am, then I can understand God also. Or if we can understand God, then I can understand me also. Just like you see the sun, you can see yourself also. In darkness, you cannot see yourself, neither the sun. So the Atma Tattva, light in night darkness, dense darkness, you cannot see anything. I'm walking in the dark, but I cannot see my hand and leg where I am going. I'm afraid. Whether I shall fall into some ditch, this is my position. Therefore, it has to be purified. Atma Tattva Visuddhi Artam Yet Aha Bhagavan Ritam. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as it says. So therefore, we have to cleanse oneself, ourselves. Visuddhi Arta. In other words, in order to cleanse, we have to hear from Bhagavan, the Personality of Godhead. He is coming. Out of his causeless mercy, he is coming to reveal himself, Krishna. It is like, I am like this, you're like this. Both sing. From beginning, Krishna said, you are not this body. So any verse, in what verse in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada said about talking about you're not this body? Anybody remember? Anybody who has been reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita regularly? There's a famous verse. So it's Bhagavad Gita 2:11. Remember Vidyavali Mataji? What is the 2:11? What the verse is? Okay. I don't. Yeah, it's the Asocham, Ampasochastam, Prashna Vada.
Asochyam anavasochas anvasochas tvam prajnavadamsi cha bhashase gatasun agatasum cha nanu sochanti panditaha. Is that right?
Yeah. You read the translation?
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, all the rest of Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Aswacham.
Prabhupada again and again about talking about the body. And also Srila Prabhupada talked about the form of the Lord in the purport. It said, you know, just like we have like a material form and Krishna has a form also, but many people misunderstood our form and Krishna's form. Our form is temporary and changeable, while Krishna's form is unchangeable, is full of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. And like how this is revealed by to Brahma from his heart. So Brahma, he was the first created being. Then he saw darkness everywhere. Then he did some austerities, tapasya. And after doing tapasya, then then from within the heart, Krishna revealed his form. Then Lord Brahma was able to compile the Brahma Samhita. Brahma Samhita, Prabhupada said there's 100 verses of Srimad Brahma Samhita, but only one part of it that Brahma, was discovered by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is okay, where is it? There's one only, okay.
That is Sura Paramakrishna.
Yeah. I say, so Krishna is within in the beginning of the Bhagavata, Tene Brahma Rida, the darshan.
Adi Kavaye.
When Brahma saw the form of the Lord, not exactly outside, but from within. So when the Brahma was in meditation, he was able to see the form of the Lord from within. And they said also, and he educated him from within. Tene Brahma Rida. Rida means the heart.
Daya.
The heart, he transmitted the knowledge, Bhagavad Tattva. Of the understanding the Bhagavad Tattva instructed by Supreme Personality of Godhead, he wrote the Brahma Samhita. Chintamani Prakala Satma Sukapam
Avipalayam Lakshmi Sahasra Satsam Brahma Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Then here he said, there are 100 chapters of Brahma Samhita, they are lost. Only the 5th chapter was found in the temple and is handwritten on the leaf. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu collected it and he gave it to his disciple. That is Brahma Samhita. Brahma Samhita, Prabhupada says Brahma Samhita is a summary of Srimad Bhagavatam. So you take it. So Brahma learns this. What is Krishna? What is Bhagavan? From Bhagavan, he understood. Then you also learn what is taught by Krishna. Krishna was accepted by Arjuna as Param Brahma Pranandama Pavitram Paramam Bhavam. That is Bhagavad Gita 10:12. You are Param Brahma, you are the Supreme Brahma. Param Brahma, you are the rest of everything. So these things were accepted by Arjuna. So if we simply accept Arjuna accepted, we also learn what is Bhagavan. So this is very important, we have to, accept from the disciplic succession. And Brahma is the first in the disciplic succession. So he personally, saw the form of Krishna and he described it in his Brahma Samhita, about the beautiful form of Krishna. So our main authorities say, how do you know that Krishna exists? Because Krishna, he revealed himself not to everyone, but to the devotee, like you say, in the non-deceptive way, or bhakti yoga, just by performing penance. So similarly, we can realize Krishna. Prabhupada also mentioned in the purport, only by the process of bhakti yoga we can understand Krishna. We can see Krishna face to face one day. So the Brahma, he already self-realized because Krishna inspired him from the heart. Krishna revealed himself. So but when he has given this knowledge about Krishna, so they say, how do you know that Krishna, Krishna's form? So we learn that Krishna's form from the disciplic succession, starting from Brahma all the way to Srila Prabhupada and our Guru. So it is very important to follow the disciplic succession, the parampara, for to understand spiritual knowledge. So we have the right process, the descending process. by following the Guru Parampara. So we also, if we're sincerely cultivating our spiritual life, as is mentioned in the Shastra, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, by regularly hearing and chanting and serving Krishna in his archana, archa vigraha form, and by offering prayers to Krishna, and becoming Krishna's servant, by becoming Krishna's, you know, friend, and ultimately, you give up everything, Atma Nivedana, by surrendering your whole self, body, mind, whatever you have, Manasa, Deo, Geo, Jo Kichumo, or Pilutu Apade, Nanda Kiso. That's a nice song by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He said that, by following the footsteps of great Acharya, you know, definitely, surely 100% that we also can see Krishna's beautiful form. What is the beautiful form? Is it, Angani Yasya Sakalan Priya Pritima, you know, and Krishna is everything, the beautiful free bending form of Krishna playing the flute, and Krishna and Lord Chaitanya and all the different form of Krishna, we can see them if we follow the process of Bhakti Yoga with sincerity and by following in the footsteps of all the previous Vaishnava Acharyas. And also Srila Prabhupada mentioned one very important thing is that he said that many people, they don't understand, like especially the Mayavadis, they think since Krishna has a form, this form is material, and Prabhupada is due to ignorance, due to being, atheists, have atheistic mentality. They think that the form of Krishna is like our form, and they cannot see that Krishna's form is full of knowledge, full of bliss, full eternal. So, in order to achieve the realization that the Krishna is always has a transcendental form and his form is not changeable. So we have to take to the process of Bhakti Yoga. Only by Bhakti Yoga, like Krishna also said 1855, that Bhaktyamam Abhijanati, only through the process of Bhakti Yoga you can understand Krishna. So we are very fortunate that we got the process of Bhakti Yoga. It is how much effort we are putting in cultivating the Bhakti Yoga, then we can get the result, otherwise we're just wasting our time, and we on the way for repeated birth and death, if we don't take to the process of Bhakti Yoga, of cultivating Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the only way that will, free us from the cycle of birth and death, from this samsara, from this miserable, because this material world, like you see, it's not a place for gentlemen. Everyone is just, struggling so hard with all the senses and trying to find happiness, satisfaction, there's no satisfaction, and everybody has so much mental problem, so much mental anxiety, just a struggle, like Prabhupada uses word, struggling for existence in this material world. So, and intelligent people, they don't want to, say why we are suffering in this material world, because we are identifying with this body. We want to satisfy the senses. So the only remedy is just to to take, to take to Krishna consciousness and understand the Atma Tattva. Atma Tattva means that Venus is body. Venus, Atma Tattva sometimes is said the spirit soul, or we can say that Atma is also the body and the mind. So that's it. So by understanding that Venus is body and our life, and we are servant of Krishna, and we have to engage in devotional service and realize that the Paramatma also. Prabhupada talk about the Paramatma, and the Paramatma is always within our heart and is always guiding us, how to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. And Prabhupada said also spiritual, localized Paramatma, that is also spiritual, and Bhagavan. They are all spiritual, they're all one. That according to my angle, ultimately Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because I cannot see sometimes and realize that impersonal Brahman or localized Brahma, that actually is the absolute truth.
Did we lose it? Hare Krishna?
Yeah, looks like her call dropped. We'll have to wait and see if she will log back on. I'll try giving her a call, see what happens.
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
Maybe logging on.
Yeah, she's logging back in. Let's just give her a minute.
While we're waiting, I'll just mention that tonight at the Sunday feast, His Grace Anutama Prabhu will be giving the Sunday feast lecture today.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Oh, sorry, devotees. I have
No
some
problem.
problem.
No problem.
Make everybody wait.
No worries.
So, uh, we were talking about impersonalists. They think like Krishna, that they become what we're talking about, was reading about this verse. Okay. Yeah, here it says, just like you realize the sun and this as impersonal sunlight, then actually the form of from the person sun god, the light is coming. This is practical. The sun god within the sun globe, there is sun Vivasvan is a person, Surya Narayan. So the Prabhupada always say, like the people think that you're impersonal, but but Krishna has a transcendental form, and he's he if we have a form, why Krishna cannot have a form? And a lot of other religion, they don't believe in the personal form of the Lord. So God is only a light, you know and God is just like the universe, or they call God as a universe or material nature, and they call this, they don't see the personal form of God. And Prabhupada said only to the process of bhakti that we can see the Lord. And also Prabhupada, just like in like you have the sun planet. In the sun planet, Prabhupada is telling here that we have the Surya Narayan. Surya Narayan is another, you know, the sun god, the sun god. In Chandraloka, we have, the moon god. So they all has form. Even we see the moon is not impersonal, but they have like a real person there. Prabhupada said, I do not, generally people have wrong conception about both of them. The wrong conception of Jivatma identifies the material body with a pure soul. And the wrong conception of Paramatma is to sing on equal level with the world and everything with a living entity. But both misconceptions can be removed by one stroke of Bhakti Yoga. So just like the sunlight, both the sun and the world and everything within the sunlight are properly seen. In the darkness, no one can see the sun, nor himself, nor the world. But the sunlight, one can see the sun himself and the world around him. Srila Sukadeva Goswami therefore says that for purification of both wrong conception, presented his eternal form of Brahmaji, being fully satisfied by Brahma non-deceptive vow of discharging Bhakti Yoga. That's why in the purport, in the verse, it said that the non-deceptive, Brahma non-deceptive vow of discharging Bhakti Yoga. So Srila Prabhupada says that's also Srila Prabhupada mentioned, in one of the lectures, said Bhakti Mam Abhajanati. That is clearly said in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, if you want to know me, then you have to accept Bhakti Yoga. No other mean will. Because without full surrender to Krishna, nobody can know him. Even very important men in the world, you cannot know him by challenge. But if you surrender, it is possible to know him. So that is our deficiency, because we don't surrender to Krishna. That's why we cannot see Krishna. We cannot experience Krishna. Krishna is there all the time. So Krishna said, we have to practice Bhakti Yoga, sincerely, and in the only way, like we can see Krishna. So what kind of Bhakti Yoga, what Bhakti Yoga is there for me? We already discussed about the 9 process of Bhakti, hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, Archana, Bandhana, offer prayers, become Darshan becomes the servant and becomes a friend, and ultimately Atma Nivedana, give up all, ourselves to the Lord. So Prabhupada said, how can we come to the purification stage of, by adapting these 9 processes by tapasya, by austerities. Is not replacing. You say bhakti yoga require little tapasya. So bhakti yoga, that doesn't mean like the yogis, they have to sit, for hundreds of years and sit down and have so much restriction, so that ultimately they can realize the Paramatma within their heart. But bhakti yoga, Prabhupada says, just we need only little tapasya. You say, because why we need tapasya? Because we are addicted to many sinful life. We must give it up. To have to give up our tapasya, like Prabhupada said, to follow the 4 regulative principle, to wake up early and to chant 16 rounds, and observe, important days like Ekadasi, like yesterday we followed Ekadasi, that, Prabhupada also, I have heard it, like Ekadasi, everyone should, follow Ekadasi. Even we don't fast in any other thing, it's not sinful. Like suppose we cannot fast on Gurpunima or Janmashtami, I say it's, we don't accumulate sin. But if we don't fast on Ekadasi, then we accumulate so many sinful activities, because the grain, this sin personified, reside inside the grain of Ekadasi. We call Ekadasi inside each and every grains. So if we don't follow Ekadasi, mean, twice a month, so we are accumulating so many sinful activities. So Ekadasi is a very, very, very important days for all the Vaishnava. So that's why we should not skip Ekadasi, because we know if we want to get purified, we have to follow Ekadasi. Prabhupada says we must observe fasting on Ekadasi, on Lord Krishna's birthdays. Okay, if we do not, we must chant 16 rounds, at least 16 rounds. And we must also follow the rules and regulation, like the 4 regulative principle, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. By following all this, then that is a tapasya, because we don't want to do that. We just want, many people, they just want to have an easy life. Why we have to go through that, follow all these rules and regulation? Let me enjoy life, But devotees, they always try, and especially those who are sincere, those who doesn't want to come back to this material world, those who want to see Krishna, want to get love of Krishna, they do a little bit tapasya. And like tapasya means, some kind of austerity. Prabhupada say we must observe rules and regulation. This tapasya, don't make God very cheap thing. Like people say, if I'm engaged in all kind of sinful activities, I can still be God conscious. That's not possible. Sense gratification, material attachment. By having all these, we cannot see God. We cannot attain Krishna. So it is very important. We have to follow the rules and regulation of Bhakti Yoga. Prabhupada said, because don't make God's cheap thing. Oh, it's very cheap thing. No, it has been made very easy for Kali Yuga. People, because they cannot undergo any tapasya. Prabhupada always says it's very easy in Kali Yuga, but still we find it very difficult. What is it? There is a simple tapasya. What is the simple tapasya that we have to do it? What's the simple austerity we have to do in Kali Yuga? Anybody can say?
Chanting.
Chanting, very good.
Yeah, very
Chant.
nice. That's what Prabhupada said. Chanting, chant 16 rounds.
Yeah, minimum 16 rounds.
Yeah, minimum singer. Don't take it. Don't do this 4 items. Take prasadam. Also, Prabhupada said. Chanting, Prabhupada, the first thing Prabhupada mentioned is chanting your 16 round. And take prasadam. Don't take anything. So nothing is stopped. A little regulated, that is much. If we do not do, then how can we expect to see God and understand God? For everything that we want to attain, there's some prerequisite you have to do. So the requisite is that we have to put some effort. We cannot achieve anything without putting some effort. So similarly, if we want to understand Krishna, we have to put some effort. So tapo divyam, if we simply remain like dog and cat, Prabhupada said, how is it possible to realize param pavitram? Krishna is the supreme, pavitra means the purest person. If we do not become pavitra, myself, pure, how can I see the supreme pure? Yeah, that's why it is a Rishikesa, Rishikena, but say, but you have to use all our senses in the service of the Lord. By using our senses, like we can use our eyes to see the beautiful form of the Krishna. We can use our ear to hear Krishna Katha, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, beautiful bhajan, kirtan, and we can use our hand, to make beautiful garland, to clean the temple, to cook nicely for Krishna, to decorate Krishna's temple, to decorate the Archa Vigraha, the beautiful form of Krishna. We can use our leg to walk to the temple and to go to the temple and see the beautiful form of the Lord, and to visit pilgrimage places where the Lord has his pastime. And we can use all our senses. We have so many senses. But how then, by purifying these senses, then we can understand Krishna. So Krishna is not a cheap thing. Everybody say, oh, I want to see God. I heard somebody said, I want to see God. Do you see God? How can you see God if you don't have the qualification to see God? You see God, will just appear to everyone, even they're not qualified. That's why Prabhupada said, God is not a cheap son. We need to purify our senses in order to understand Krishna. So the process of bhakti yoga helps us to purify our senses. We just have to adopt it sincerely and put some effort. Then by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and by chanting the the holy name of the Lord, our heart will get purified. And Prabhupada said, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very kind. He is very kind. He himself is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he gave us one prescription, Hari Nama Eva Kevalam Phalo Nasti Eva Nasti Gati Yanyata. So you simply chant, because in this age it's very difficult. Every process, Prabhupada said, every process, the yoga system, that is also tapasya. And because we have so many other processes, like the yoga system, jnana yoga, karma yoga, astanga yoga, like jnana system. Karma is a system also. Also, karma means not working hard in the factory like cat and dog. That's not karma. Karma means to perform ritualistic ceremonies, big yagna, sacrifices. That is karma. Prabhupada also in the last paragraph Prabhupada talk about, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Then what he said, he says, so then one heard and one spoke, Sri Vishnu Shravana Parikshit. Parikshit Maharaj sat down. He did not do anything. He simply heard about Vishnu, Lord Vishnu Krishna activities, Sri Vishnu Shravana. Simply by hearing, Parikshit attained perfection. Abhavat Vyakshaki Kirtane, Vyasaki. Vyasaki means Sukadev Goswami Kirtan. And Parikshit Maharaj simply by hearing, Shravana, and Sukadev Goswami simply by chanting Srimad Bhagavatam, Kirtan. He simply narrated, he also gained. Therefore, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. They are the 9 process of Bhakti Yoga. Any one of them, when you adopt, you become perfect. Not that you have to adopt 9. If you can, it's very nice. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. If you adopt only one, you become. You don't anything. Simply hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from his realized soul, you will become perfect. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam. If you simply worship the deity in a regulated form, you become perfect. Prabhupada said, that out of the 9 process, one, if you adopt one very sincerely, you become perfect. So the question is that, why, why we have to do like hearing, chanting, archanam and everything? Why? And Prabhupada is saying, adopt only one process, you become perfect. Anybody can answer the question? Hare Krishna.
I would think because all processes are perfect in themselves, and they can take us to Krishna. They're complete and pure, and therefore they can connect us directly with Krishna.
I would just have myself, there's one that Prabhupada said, you just do one thing, like you simply wash the temple or sweep the temple regularly within your heart, you become perfect. You don't require even to read. So also Prabhupada says Dasyam, when become simply work as a menial servant of Krishna, Dasyam. Satyam, you become like Arjuna. He made simply friendship with Krishna. In friends is so many insulting word or use also. So any one of them you adopt, you become perfect. So the best thing, Prabhupada said, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam 12:18. If you hear Bhagavata, the Bhagavata is written for hearing, discussing. Otherwise, why we are taking so much time? So here it is said, both Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit attained perfection through medium of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's 9 o'clock now, and anybody who want to really have any reflection, any takeaway from this verse today? Like it is very, 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 there's a lot of content in this purport, about hearing, about Atma Tattva, about hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, about the form of Krishna, about the distinction between, I know, our form and Krishna's form, about Paramatma, about the soul, the Jivatma, and the Paramatma. There's a lot of content in this verse. So anything that any comment or any correction or any addition?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
A very nice class. Really, you covered a lot of things, and I found that it very inspiring. And I thought that if we do it sincerely, it is going to increase our faith, increase our devotion, and it is helpful in purifying us and remember Krishna. That's what I thought. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. So what are we like endeavoring for in our day-to-day life? Like, it's a personal question to everyone who want to answer. What effort we're making just in order to become pure and
Oh, I'm reading, like hearing this Bhagavatam class, reading the books, but to be more like disciplined way we have to do. Sometimes I do something else, and but I'm trying. Yeah, chanting.
I
Hare
think we
Krishna.
can only try. No. We have a lot of knowledge, and have to apply all this knowledge. Even little bit, one process for purpose, if you can adopt one process, we can purify ourselves. And in this way we can attain Krishna, we can see Krishna.
Yeah.
And today also is very, very with great sadness, like I know many devotees may have heard already. It is a departure of an exalted disciple of Srila Prabhupada, who they call him Gopal Krishna Maharaj. They call him Prabhupada man. He served Srila Prabhupada so vastly, and excellent preacher, and helping so many devotees, opening so many temples, especially in India. He's so like in Delhi, in Vrindavan, and so many other places, he has hundreds of disciples all over the world. And since he joined, Krishna consciousness, he was just dedicated his whole life just to serve Srila Prabhupada disciple. So he's an
Hare
exalted
Krishna
Vaishnava.
Mataji.
Yeah.
I'm
Hare
sorry.
Krishna.
I have only one feeling that anyabhilashta sunyam janma karma
Anaditam Anupilena
anukuleni krishnanu
Bhakti.
Krishnana Seelanam Bhaktir Uttama. So this is what I just feel. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire. That is the most important thing. Without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. And we should have, when we pray God, give me this, give me that. We always say that human tendency. So, no, just keep myself, this thing prosper or something health-wise, this, that. But that is not the thing, without fruitive this thing, you should pray God. That's why he says, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami masucha. So just surrender to me and I will take care of it. That's all. So that is the thing we should have. It's very hard in human tendency. We always, he says, surrender to me. When will he do? This is what I need it right away. Those kind of feelings, human feelings are there. So that is the main just thing he says, Sarvadharman Parityaja.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice.
Thank you very much,
True.
Prabhu.
Yeah, worship
Hare
Krishna You know,
Hare
this is a
I have
very
question.
high stage of devotional service, Anya Bilasa Sunyam.
Mhm.
No? But still we
Yeah,
have to aspire for that.
that's what I'm saying. That's what we do all the time.
Yeah, actually I was
That is
asking.
human tendency. Human tendency. We always. He's saying that anyabhilashita sunyam. Don't expect any fruitive
Any return.
act. This thing. I am giving you $1 and give me $1,000. No, that is not the thing. He will do it, but you should have. We should have patience. Which human beings we? It's very hard for us to come to that stage.
Yeah,
That is very very senior stage.
yeah, very advanced
Practicing,
stage. Yeah,
listening to Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita more and more, then we will just digest to that and then we'll go to that stage. I feel that way. See, chanting also, he said minimum, as Prabhupada said, minimum
minimum.
16 rounds. Even that,
Yeah,
people will feel hard.
yeah, yeah, that is
Yeah,
true. Just because we are so many lifetimes, our heart is still full of sinful desire and material attachment. You know, that's
yeah,
why we do not have the taste for that. And we have to, and Prabhupada, Krishna said, in whatever stage of life you are, you just simply have to worship him, think about him, Even
yeah.
you have,
Then
like
I will
the
take
other
care
day,
of
I
you. I will
asked a
take care of
question to Mother Rukmini, and he said we have to love Krishna, we have to love Krishna and don't expect anything. And he said also Krishna, he reminded, that Krishna also, there's another verse is Akama, Sarvakama, Moksha
you.
Kama.
Moksha, moksha.
Yeah. So even you're Akama without any material desire, Kama,
That's true.
Sarva Kama, full of material desires. And moksha, your moksha kama, you're aspiring for moksha, for liberation. You still, in any stage, we have to surrender to Krishna. Because this is the truth, this is the truth of life. Because people doesn't understand it, doesn't realize it due to they're being covered by material ignorance, by ignorance. But that
Yeah.
is the truth. That is the truth. Because
Thank you very much, Mataji. Very nice class.
okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna Mata, I have one question.
Yeah.
So we sometimes like we try to do bhakti,
Hmm.
but how much how do we get satisfaction? Sometimes we are satisfied, sometimes not satisfied. Are there any slokas in the Gita or somewhere that says how do we get satisfaction in our bhakti?
Actually, what I heard from her is just the modes of nature. Sometimes when we're in the mode of goodness, we feel so much happiness, so much
Yeah.
satisfaction, so much, we say, oh, we just want to chant, we just want to hear about Krishna. Then we got covered by the mode of passion and ignorance, and we have to struggle just to chant the holy name of the Lord, you know, and to hear about Krishna, because our mind is just telling us, we have to do this one, we have to do something material. So that's why we don't get satisfaction. So that's why we need to adapt the purification process, like constantly, nityam. It doesn't happen. It is a gradual process, bhakti yoga. It like not, you chant Hare Krishna, the mind go like so many, like hundred of direction, you know. Sometimes we can just chant and just hear the sound only of Krishna. We can just hear holy name. We can meditate on the beautiful form of Krishna and remember the pastime of Krishna. And sometimes we're just remembering what we have to do. We're remembering that person, what happened to me.
Yeah.
It's just a mode of nature, the mode that can bring our consciousness up and down, up and down, up and down. But Krishna is very, very merciful, He understands. He's within our heart, Krishna, Paramatma, talking about Paramatma, is always like guiding us, and we have to make constant endeavor, constant effort.
Okay.
Ultimately, we'll come to the level, of
Yeah.
only satisfy in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
Even we have up and down, don't give up, just keep on doing it. And Krishna, sometimes he tested us,
Yeah. Thank you
he
very
wants to
much.
see our endeavor.
Yeah, you very nicely explained me. Yeah, sometimes when I'm in good mode of goodness, I really feel satisfied, and you pointed
Yeah.
that out. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Yeah, and that's the point.
Yeah.
Very
Hare
nicely.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Mother. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay. And then
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, and
Hare Krishna.
and
We'll chat.
today we all, we like everybody know Gopal Krishna Maharaj.
Well, no, but I got this video from somewhere.
Yeah, he's a
How is
really.
he doing?
Oh, he left his. That's why I was telling you, he departed. But he
Yeah.
left his body. He
Oh.
departed. He went to Krishna.
Oh,
He suffered two major
yeah, 3 heart
heart
attacks or
attacks
something.
yesterday, and we just have to, it's very sad just to lose another Srila Prabhupada man. They call him Prabhupada man. He surrendered so 100%. After he met Srila Prabhupada, he took Diksha, and he never gave up. He was constantly serving Srila Prabhupada mission.
Lucky person.
Anybody have anything to say know of Gopal Krishna Maharaj?
No, I don't. I heard about the son yesterday, but it's in mail, my daughter was saying.
Yeah. And I think Anuttama Prabhu was telling that that Mother Rukmini, she met Srila Prabhu, Gopal Krishna Maharaj when he was just in New Bhakta, in Montreal, some temple. Then Gopal Krishna Maharaj was so sincere that he came to the temple, and like we have so many pictures on the wall, and Gopal Krishna Maharaj was chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, and go and offer obeisance to each and every picture. That's how sincere he was from the very beginning of the taking Krishna consciousness. And he never looked back, and he continued that so his whole lifetime since he met Srila Prabhupada. After having Diksha, and continuously serve Srila Prabhupada, always engage in devotional service and inspire hundreds of devotees all over the world. He was really an exalted Vaishnava. So it's a big loss for our ISKCON movement. And I really miss him also, because I have his darshan so many times, and he's a guru of so many of my good friends. And they always talk about him. And I heard, especially when I go to Vrindavan, he has so many disciples there. And he always inspires the devotees and always preaching, always he says, you can become a good disciple of mine only if you're regularly chanting your 16 Ram. One quote I just read about him. If you want to be
That's
my
good.
disciple, then chant 16 Ram every day. That's one of the instruction he gave to them. If you want to become a good disciple of mine, just chant 16 Ram and follow Srila Prabhupada. Okay, I think getting late, and thank you very much, everyone, and sorry for the.
May Krishna
Thank you very much, Mataji.
bless him. May Krishna bless him, like keep him in his lotus feet.
Yeah.
Pray.
Yeah.
Krishna.
I'm sure he went to Krishna. All this service, Prabhupada have helped him taking him.
Yeah. He's pure person.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you.
Mataji.
Thank you.
Vancha kalpatarupyascha kripa sindhupya cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Mataji.
Thank you. Thank you for the class.
Hare Krishna, Vidyavali Mataji. You are really following the Nitya Bhagavatam Sevaya. Every day you're there.
Hare Krishna's mercy.
And
I
whoever
am,
cannot, sometime in the morning, there's due to some other thing you cannot do it. But there's hundreds of lectures on the internet, you can just hear Srila Prabhupada lecture
Yeah.
every, At least you have to hear about Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Somehow.
yeah, I want to be.
Yeah.
See, I don't want to miss any day. I just don't know. I just like when
know,
I
you're
was
doing-
school,
you're-
I don't
you're
know how
very-
I
You're
did.
very exemplary in that way, Mataji.
That the 6:50, 7:50, I'll be at the table. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. You don't. You're better than me.
I don't know. But that taste is the
Yeah,
something that makes me sit there. That's all, Mataji.
Yeah.
And devotee
Anyway,
association.
I'm sure everybody have to hear about it, or somehow that we have to hear Bhagavatam.
I think Suman
Thank you
Mataji
very
is
much,
also
Mataji.
very, very regular. Very
Yeah,
regular.
Suman Mataji, I know he
Yeah,
started.
Suman is also very regular.
Suman
Yeah,
Mataji, I have a very good example of her when when we were doing on the radio, on the on the phone lecture, in the beginning we didn't have
Sudevi
Zoom.
Sudevi Mataji got me into this. I give credit to her. Sudevi
Yeah,
Mataji.
we didn't have Zoom. Yeah,
That's good. Nowadays we are missing her.
Yeah, and she
yeah.
used to.
Devi Mataji is very good. Yeah, very good at bringing people to Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
And she used to make sure if I am there or no. She used to, is Suman Mataji here? Then I used to say something.
Yeah, that's how I know Suman Mataji. I heard a voice first, and I saw her in person at the temple.
Yeah. Thank you for your class, your nice class. Yeah, I'm really benefiting. And thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Vidyamali, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.